By the end of this video, you'll get to know step by step how to invest in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Hello everyone, I'm Panthaka from Almas Equities. And if you are someone who doesn't know anything about investing or how to buy or sell stocks in the Colombo Stock Exchange, I'm here to teach you today. To get started, just Google Almas Equities. And in there, using the first link, you can access to the official website of the Almas Equities. And then there is an option called Visit Almas One. And to get started, you just have to select Trade Now option and you will be directed to the ATrad, which is the online trading platform. You will receive the login info when you open up your CDS account with Almas One. So this is the user interface of the ATrad online trading platform. And in here, to begin with, we have the SPI index and the S&P index. This is as of today, what is the index value and the point change and the percentage change as well. And then the turnover. So the market turnover for today and the volumes and the number of trades traded. And at ATrad, there is a special option to check the buy sentiment of the market. So when you open your trading platform and go to the watch option and then go to the full watch equity. And today, I'm only be explaining about the equity shares, and there are other investment options that is available in the Colombo Stock Exchange as well. So this ribbon, as you see, which is the most important part, which is my favorite part, which is easy to navigate. And if you select the sector, so you may hear some news saying that, okay, this sector is performing great or this sector is performing bad. So based on that, you can navigate in here. Let's say if you want to purchase a stock that is related to the energy sector, you can pick up here. And let's say, for example, banking sector, for example, and then you will be directed to all the companies listed under the sector classification, which is called BAN. And then there is an option called system. And in here, you can also direct it that full equity watch. And also there are a lot of options available here. See, there is top 10 gainers. So if you want to see the top 10 gainers of the market as of today, you can press this button and it will be directed to who are the first top 10 gainers and then top 10 losers and then the top 10 share volumes and also the top 10 turnover and the crossing watch. Now crossings are the special transactions happen off the flow of the Colombo Stock Exchange, which are negotiated transactions. So we'll get into that later. And also if you press this button, it will direct it to your portfolio, which is where your purchase stocks can be seen. And again, let's go to that full equity watch. So in here, we'll select a one company, which is Sampath Bank, which is of course, I hope you know. And if you press that security option, you will be directed to something called order book. Let me explain this order book in detail. So in here, you will see the total bids and also the total asks that are made by the investors as of today. And from the left hand side, you will see the bids, which are at what price investors are like to buy these securities. And of course, in the right side, you will see at what price, at how much shares also investors are willing to sell this security. Let's go to a one transaction. So you see a one investor is willing to buy 100 shares of Sampath Bank at 115 rupees. And on the other hand, there could be 11 investor, or since there are 11 split, or there is a one investor putting 11 orders to buy 14,668 shares of Sampath Bank at 116 rupees. And I'll ask you a question. Do you think this transaction will occur? So as you can see, there are two different prices. At this point, there won't be any transaction happen because someone is willing to buy at 115 and someone is willing to sell it at 116. So for a transaction to occur, both investors have to come to a same price. In this order book, you will only see 10 rows with 10 different prices. But however, there are investors who like to buy Sampath shares below this amount, 112. And also, there are investors who's willing to sell Sampath shares above 190. And you can see it in here. Now, so if you tally this total available here and tally it with the total ask, you will also see the difference, because after these prices, after 190s, there are investors who's willing to sell these shares. So that is the view of the order book. However, there's a small trick available here. If you select the right side of that particular security, you will see a drill down option. Now, in here, there are a lot of options available for you to easy to access this option. The first one is the market depth. We have what we have talked about, and then if you want to quickly buy these shares, you can also go through use this option, and to sell and other statistics available here. However, I'll take you to my favorite option, which is the detailed quant. And in here, you can select the security, which is, of course, we have chosen the Sampath Bank, and you see the trade wash, which is you can easily see at the current market. As we have discussed, there is a 100 shares available for bid, and then the asks and how many shares in the first transaction, which is the latest one, and the last transaction occurred at what price, and at what quantity the last transaction occurred, and the percentage change from the previous transaction, and the highest price that is stocks being traded today, and the lowest price, and the volume weighted average, and also the volume, number of shares that has been traded, and the turnover generated out of this trades happen in the market. And this is the trade book. In trade book, you can see at what price, how much of shares being changed in hand, and the price change. And again, there is an option to see the total bids and asks, which is the order book what we have previously discussed, and the trade summary. Now, this is a very important part. Listen to me. So, in the trade summary, you will see the at what price, how many quantity has been executed, or how many quantities been traded in the market, and the number of trades. So, when you are buying a stock, when you're designing the price, even you can consider this, because if you don't want to wait in the market in the queue, you will see that okay, at this price there will be a lot of shares being executed. So if I put a trade on that price, I might get lucky, right? So, and you see the week to date, what is the highest price and the lowest price, and the date of that particular price has been identified, and the month to date value, and also a chart where you can see based on a 1 hour performance, or 5 hours, or 1 day, or 3 days, how the stock has been performed. And also the year to date, what is the highest price and the lowest price, and also the 52 weeks, which is of course within a 1 year period of time, what is the highest price and the lowest price. So that is about the detailed quote. So when you are making a decision, you can take this option is to consider to, as I told you earlier, to pick the best price you can execute your trade. So these are the need to know facts when you are making a first trade. And let's move on to how to make a trade. First, you have to go to this orders option and select buy. So in here, you will be directed to your account. And then, for example, let's say Sampath Bank, and you want to buy 10,000 shares of Sampath Bank at 116. As you can remember, there was a buyer at 160. If you open your order book at the same time, you can see there is someone who's willing to sell me these Sampath Bank shares at 116 rupees. So let's say, for an example, I want to buy Sampak Bank shares at 110. However, there is no anyone who's selling that much of shares at 110, or even there's nobody is selling in the market at 110. So I think, okay, in couple of days this stock may hit 110, or I can buy these shares at 110. So I'll go to this option and select GTC option. Then when you go ahead with this format, your order will be there in the market for 5 days. So in any day this order will be executed, but within the 5 market days. There is a need to know fact in the Colombo Stock Exchange, which is that you will be charged 1.12% transaction cost when you are executing this trade, which is represented as the commission here. Then you can move on to the executing the trade. So when you press this button, there will be an error message saying that order value can not exceed buying power, which means you don't put enough money to your CDS account to execute this trade. Let's say I'm going to edit this quantity to 1000 shares, of course. So then I can go ahead, press the buy button. So then the system will ask you for your final confirmation to go ahead. So then let's say you want to sell these securities that you have purchased, which is available in your trading account. You have to pick the security that you want to sell, and then you have to pick the quantity and at what price that you want to sell these shares, and then again the same procedure apply here. So let's say, for an example, you want to sell these shares on a later date, which is within a 5 days period of time. You put here and put 5 days, then you can go to the sell option, and then when you press yes, your order will be accepted, and then if not, it will be rejected and you will direct it to the previous window. So this is about buying and selling securities of the Colombo Stock Exchange. And then after you make an order, so it could be a buy order or it could be a sell order, it will go to this order blotter. So let me explain what does this mean. So you have made orders on these selected securities, so which is first one is the buy order, and then a couple of sell orders, and the quantity and the order prices and the value of that order and the status. So if you see this new, means that the order is there in your order book, which is not been executed, and the expired means that after the certain period of time, let's say you put orders for 5 days and it has not been executed, it will be expired, and even after the end of the trading day today, this order has been expired, and these last 2 orders has been filled, which is buyer and the seller has been matched. So that is about the order blotter, where your transaction will be recorded. So then let's move on to the portfolio. In portfolio, you can see the securities, which is the shares that you purchase at what quantity. So, and I hope you know that when you buy or sell securities, it will take T+2, which is trading day plus 2 days to clear this transaction. So in this holding section, it shows what are the current holding out of the total of your portfolio, and the average price and the BES price of that security, of that trade that you have made, and the total cost and the currently traded price and the market value and the holding, and these information are available. So this is all about the portfolio that what you need to know, which is the stocks that you owned is been here recorded here. And then what is another important part is your account summary. So in here you will see the total cost of your portfolio and the total market value of your portfolio and the gain or loss that you have made in investing in the Colombo Stock Exchange, and the cash balance and the buying power, which is the amount that is available for you to trade. So this is every basic that you need to know when you're investing in the Colombo Stock Exchange. So this is the first video of the series of educating you in investing in the Colombo Stock Exchange. You can find the link in the description to start trading now.